Hello, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio at Phocuswright Europe, and I am joined by Guido Becher. He is Global Head of Travel at Rappi. Welcome, Guido.
Thank you, Mitra.
Great to see you again. We had this discussion last year,
Yes.
so would love to just kind of get an update on what's happening. So I know that we had talked about the partnership with Marriott in the past. You're now, what, about a year into that or so?
Yes.
Give us an update on what's happening there.
Well, it's been a great first year of the partnership. We've been learning what works, what doesn't. But it was a great opportunity to bring a travel brand into the Rappi ecosystem. Because what we want to do sometimes is bring the user from other verticals and other parts of our ecosystem into travel.
Right.
So we're now playing to take the brands into other things apart from travel too. So in the case of Marriott, you earn points when you order food. So you're outside the travel part, the travel vertical in Rappi, and we're testing that incrementality, testing the reaction of the users to their loyalty program and the value prop it adds. So it's been an interesting first year of launch.
Can you share anything that you might be learning about that? Because I will say one of the things that we've heard quite a bit about is that, particularly for younger generations, they really do appreciate this opportunity to have loyalty and points and all of that very fluid across different parts of their life.
Yeah. Well, we saw the engagement of the users was very different. We launched depending on the country,
yeah,
and depending on the value prop we're offering. So for some users, earning more points was very important, but for others, the perks.
Okay.
So we realized that we had different audiences, so we shouldn't be having only one message. At least we thought at the beginning. Of course, you always think of personalization, but in this case, we had a clear audience of the Bonvoy members and the Rappi Pro users. But we identified very interesting cohorts within.
Okay.
The users, maybe younger generations into points and maybe more price sensitive, but then more older generation or people with more with other interests.
Yeah.
And we realized that the perks and other benefits were more important for them. And we could prove in those different cohorts ultimately what we want is incrementality in both in transactions and in frequency.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you looking at, can you give us a sense of other partners that you might be looking at or other sectors, beyond hospitality?
Well, we do have loyalty partnerships within the travel space, but not hospitality. Marriott is our main in hospitality, but we work with airlines programs. So we worked with Life Miles from Avianca in the past, and we're probably launching something soon. And also we work with the LATAM Pass, which is from LATAM, and we're exploring other partnerships too. Also from banks and loyalty programs that are not travel related.
Okay.
We also work with them. So in that case, again, another opportunity of bringing those users into travel,
yeah, but
also we work on generating incrementality in the other verticals. So we play in that, like for us, travel is a window or a door to the rest of the ecosystem, because some people feel very attractive with travel value prop, and we play going back and forth.
Yeah, that makes sense. We've certainly heard a lot about banks wanting to offer travel, so that seems like a prime area. What would you say, give us a sense of kind of what is in development then for Rappi Travel? I mean, would you look at moving outside of Latin America with Rappi overall? Would you look at some acquisitions?
Well, for now, we're very focused in the region, Rappi as a whole. Still, we're seeing a lot of growth opportunities in cities that we haven't launched. But we still have some countries left in Latin America to open Rappi, but also cities within the countries where we already are, new cities, and millions of users that are not yet served. Of course, travel, there's no geography limitation.
Right.
But as we leverage data from day-to-day usage by users, we need to be there too. So understanding if you are a burger lover or you buy a lot of the pets food.
Yeah.
So we take all that data, we leverage it, and we bring the best travel offer to those users. So we need Rappi to be in that city too. So for now, Latin America is our focus, and growing in the same countries we are right now, getting into more cities and more areas.
Okay. When you mentioned data, I know when we talked last year, of course, that was really as things were heating up with generative AI, and we talked a bit about that. So I'd love just again to ask, are you looking and exploring or using, artificial intelligence, and is that helping you with some of this data strategy?
Yes, especially within support and operations, Rappi has a huge operations and support team. Complexity is very high. So many things can happen in delivery, especially. You have the restaurant or the groceries or the different stores and partners. Then you have the delivery, and things can happen. So not only with the delivery, also with the quality of the things that are delivered. So we are very close to our customers, and the scale that Rappi already has, all of this technology is a very good opportunity for us to improve not only efficiency for cost, but also better service for our customers. It's getting, at the beginning was, okay, what are we doing? This is so big. How do we handle this big animal? But like many companies, we're focusing first on efficiency.
Yeah.
But then we'll probably see more, we'll see more on the exploration. Maybe you go to Rappi every week. So we have a very good opportunity in the inspiration process of what you want to eat, where you want to go. So,
as you're describing this, of course, I'm sure you've heard this many, many times, that Rappi can be described somewhat as like the Amazon for Latin America. Not exactly, but there are similarities. Amazon has not really built into travel in a holistic way. Why can Rappi succeed in that space?
I don't want to mention so many names, but if you see the user behavior, Latin American users are more similar maybe to the Asian.
Okay.
The relationship with the brands and with the place where you can do everything, like super apps are very solid in China and in Asia. And maybe in Europe and the US, you find very big brands, like you mentioned, Amazon and DoorDash and Uber. But usually you don't have in those companies so many different verticals.
Right.
Because it's a different user, maybe more sophisticated in some ways or more experienced in others. We have customers in the region that need to trust the brand. There's the thing about trust and the instability maybe of our regions, that when you find a very solid brand that can help you with some things, you extrapolate that to, hey,
help with everything.
With everything. So I would compare the behavior more with the Asian. That's why there are very successful stories in travel in Asia. So I think we took more that example and not so much the American one.
Okay. And help us understand also just more generally about Latin America and the traveler. You touched on there about the need for trust and really wanting to have a brand that they trust. What else should we understand about what's currently happening in Latin America and maybe the travel scenario there?
It's a great question. Latin America is comprised of many countries.
Yes.
So maybe this answer changes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because if you take Brazil, Colombia, and Argentina, for example, you have a new government with a different vision in Argentina wanting to open skies. So maybe airlines are coming back and you have more offer. Then you have, last year we had 2 or 3 airlines in Colombia in bankruptcy. So that was a big impact in the industry because of the offering. The prices went up. Less routes and less people traveling. So sometimes there's no one answer to the trend in Latin America. Sometimes it's the blend of what's happening in different countries. And today what we see, and we saw on stage, that Latin America is reactivating after COVID.
Yeah.
Volume is again up as before COVID. So still, we live in a very special area where we see problems, we handle problems every day. I'm very positive on the reactivation and having more. It's very related to the airline, but because of the distances.
Right.
So, but still, I'm very positive on the next years on the outlook of Latin America.
Yeah.
So again, saying that the whole region is, I'm being positive on the whole region means that some countries are are pushing it, and we see Mexico also reactivating.
Yeah.
And with
new government.
yeah. No, but also in Rappi, regardless of the government, Rappi has grown very much in Mexico.
Okay.
So for us, it's not only how big and the trend of the travel space, we still have a very big pool where to fish within Rappi. So if maybe the market is not going upwards, but we still have a lot of market to gain within our users.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we get ready to wrap up, I would just ask, what are your kind of 1, 2, 3 top priorities for, let's say, the next couple of years for you and for Rappi Travel? What's at the top of your list of what you need to do?
I want to increase the frequency of the travel vertical. I mean, the frequency of purchasing from users. As Rappi our Rappi Pro users, which are 15% of our active users, are Rappi Pro, which is our membership, like the Prime membership that are known in other brands. They have delivery fees, lower delivery or zero delivery fees, among other benefits. They do almost 45% of the total Rappi volume, and that is maybe 5 times a week ordering.
Oh, wow.
So we have an opportunity of increasing, and we have a very interesting frequency in travel, but we can still add offer with where I said, I think in the interview with you last year, that we were launching activities.
Yes.
That's an opportunity to increase frequency. With the data we have, I know what you like to eat and other interests.
And they're going to do that more often than a big flight.
Exactly.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, and getaways.
Yeah.
So top of my list is increasing the frequency. So travel is also part, and we bring more brands that, as we are frequent with the user, brands want to get in too. So a good business that we have is travel brands investing in Rappi in advertising.
Okay. Oh, to reach those customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So regardless they travel within Rappi or not, Rappi is a place where you find audiences.
Yeah.
And having a team that understands travel is a way to bring those brands into Rappi too. Yeah. So I would say increased frequency means below that you see it's more product, another UX interaction too. So and Rappi is growing a lot also in high frequency. Within already high frequency, Rappi launched Turbo restaurants. Turbo is the fast delivery service within 10 minutes. We launched it for restaurants. So Rappi helps restaurants to build a menu around 10 minutes delivery. So there's already more than 600 restaurants only in 3 cities, more than 1 million orders already. So you would enter the restaurant vertical and you will see menus, the regular menu and the turbo menu. Oh. So you could have your food in 10 minutes and we help the restaurant with technology and processes. There are processes that you have the delivery persons within 2 kilometers, so we can deliver very fast. And that is giving us more frequency, more data. So it's all around there. That's what I want to take advantage of.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, sounds like you have a lot to keep yourself busy.
Yes.
So wonderful. Yes. Well, Guido Becher, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.